they are the team who, at the moment, are looking to go into that relegation zone, which you don't want to be in. And then MNM, who, as we know, did not start off the stage well last time around. But then we start to see a bit of a resurgence. And I think after you kind of seen the first Playday from MNM, you thought, wow, maybe this is where they can actually take a stage and get in towards that top 4. It's been a little bit up and down for MNM. I mean, they gave it a good old shot against Heroic. Honestly, probably had a good opportunity to take all 3 points against Heroic as well in that game. So they've done very, very well. And, you know, Secret and Heroic, there's a very different level here. Yeah. So you would expect MNM, if they took it so close against Heroic, surely they'd be able to do it against Secret. But as we know, Ollie, doesn't matter how you've played in the past. It is all about how you play it on the day.
It very much does. Although we can allow the past to sort of influence how we think it's at least going to go. For me, I saw Villa come up as a map and immediately started to worry a little bit for Secret. It is so heavily defender-sided at the moment inside of EUL. It is insane. So because of that, MNM obviously starting on the defense. Secret got to pick the map.
They picked it, yeah.
They're already coming in with a little bit of an advantage here. The bans as they have come through, Jackal, Thatcher, Valkyrie and Azami all have been removed, which does leave open the mirror, which sometimes does come into effect here on Villa, although at least at the moment it doesn't seem to be selected so far, but there is plenty of time for that. A lot of flexibility though in terms of those bans. I always like to sort of bring everyone's attention back to the fact that Valkyrie is very often always banned, so you can usually bank on playing without a Valk. And then you throw the Azami ban in there and it's only something that we've recently really been dealing with, so as far as the defense goes, they're going to be fairly free here.
They will be. So MNM on the defense, of course, and they're going to go straight to Kitchen, usually seen as the third pick bomb site. We don't really see this being the first picked, but here we are. I suppose the mentality is because, like you've mentioned, Villa, the defensive win rate is so high, you will eventually come here anyway. So just get out of the way with first off and maybe catch Secret by surprise. Maybe Secret were gearing up, you know, kind of that preparation talk where you can sit there the whole 45 seconds picking operators talking about, okay, guys, it's going to be a trophy attack. We're going to do this. And, oh, their Kitchen. That, never mind. You know, you spend all that time and it just doesn't happen.
And you can see that maybe was a factor given that we had 3 7th picks, or 6 picks, should I say. I like to call it 7th pick, but we had 3 picks there from the attackers moving on off various operators and just switching things up a little bit. We dropped a Twitch, we dropped a Nook, things of that nature.
Stuff like that
just more soft breach, as you say. You think, oh, Kitchen, okay, we'll double down, we'll bring the Sledge and we'll bring the Book, and instead of bringing the Nook, we'll just switch over onto the Ana. It's going to give us a much easier time to drone and clear out this top floor.
Yeah, no hard breach on Secret, not even, you know, the secondary hard breach gadget from Buck that you would maybe see a lot more as well, just because he has that ability. If you're not running, you know, the Ace, the Habana, so it does give you that option, but Secret have just went for, you know what, more utility, I suppose, with a lot of nades. And with Kendra, obviously only having breaching charges, Sophia is in that kind of tricky position where, yes, she does have projectiles, but they're really good projectiles that you don't want to use them to burn up ADSs in a sense. So, bringing more flashbangs, I think, is going to help them, of course. They have to burn through the Aruna gates, so that's kind of the substitute for Jaeger. We know still works quite well. You know, same mechanic. It's still going to stop one projectile and, of course, can recharge at a state. So it's just, you know, little adaptations, of course. Solotov then, he has that mechanic to, you know, go and set up the site, get everything punched out, and of course that's going to help a lot with this upstairs hold that we're seeing from MNM. So the main general gist that we see from teams who want to push in towards the Kitchen attack is start from the top, try and get in towards the trophy statuary, take control of the verticality. That's why you're seeing the Buck come in, that's why you're seeing the Sledge, and you're really relying on just picking off MNM as they come out of the bomb site, set up those crossfires, set up those traps. But before they get to that stage, Secret, they have to deal with the roamers upstairs.
And as you mentioned, the lack of hard breach is really going to slow that down quite significantly. Look at Tyrant at the moment, playing there inside a statuary. He's not really being given too much of a reason to move, because if anybody directly challenges onto him, he's got a pretty good line of sight. He's got a couple of doorways that he can watch onto. Keenan just starting to approach the bottom of those east stairs now, as Kendrew turns his attention in toward the laundry, maybe looking for a little bit more of a direct approach into sight. You can see that part of that laundry wall has in fact been left soft, but that is almost to the advantage advantage here of Nello. Going to go for a tight swing with the shotgun, lands a kill, and more importantly, drops that diffuser. As that happens, Solotov upstairs cleans up onto Keenan. One kill is going to be traded back though, but Solotov on a little bit of a tear. Secret now, they're just forced to try and directly push onto the site. They haven't been able to achieve any of that vertical soft destruction that they were looking to try and do, or instead just going for Hail Mary plays. But that was a Hail Mary C4 demo. Nello picks up his second on the round, shuts saves down, and it leaves a lot to do for poor old Savage. He's going to be alive inside of blue there, does have Finker and the LMG, but with 8 seconds and the diffuser cold on the ground, it's going to be a tricky one. Picks himself up too, but with 4 seconds, can he find the remaining? Picks up the Cade. It comes down to a 1 versus 1. It was very, very close, but MNM were not in any real danger. They still had that single player off site. They knew exactly where the diffuser was. The hatch was open from above. It was always going to be their round. Yeah,
just a few exit frags really means nothing in the long game of things. Sure, Savage may get those kills on the scoreboard, but that doesn't help them. If you don't win the round, you don't win the round. I noticed straight away, Ollie, that Secret, look how much utility they still had up. I think they had 2 flashes, 5 grenades still up. All of that utility. I think 6 drones as well not being used.
5 out of 6 grenades.
What's going on?
It's disappointing because obviously the desk was really focused on the drone game. You know, that was one of the things that we were really trying to push today in the broadcast was, let's get the fundamentals nailed, let's look at the drones, and let's really start to hone in and discuss and have a big conversation in every map with every team about how they are utilising that drone game, how they are utilising that utility. And Secret started off really well. I thought that the first initial clear was good, but they just didn't leave themselves the space or the time to do anything later on into the round.
It was the timing, and I think they realised that. After around the minute mark hit, we seen Kendra start to look towards Laundry, and he was almost thinking, if they're all upstairs, let's just hit site. Let's just rush the bomb site. But it looked as if he was surprised that Nello was there.
Yeah.
Because do you know why? They didn't drone. They have drones sitting there. Why is the site not being droned out?
Yep.
Yes, you have Savage coming in from Memorial, coming in from the main corridor. Obviously, Kendra then coming in from Laundry. There needs to be another player there to drone that in and let those 2 LMGs just hit Nello in the crossfire. Sure, Nello might take one with him, but you need to have that refrag.
Let's see how Secret choose to approach round number 2 then. Going to be dealing with a different site, of course. Keenan has reverted back onto the Nook this time. Kendra's actually gone for the Dokkaebi. Now, MNM weren't showing too much sort of prowess on the roam. They certainly weren't sneaking around. It wasn't a secret where Tyrant was playing inside a statuary last round. But they're obviously looking to really hit that roam game pretty hard and try and isolate these players out. And a little bit more information certainly isn't going to do them any harm.
So nobody home towards Trophy Statuary, which is always a little bit surprising, Ollie, that we don't see the defenders try and go for those offsite holes, but maybe MNM just wanting to shore up more of an anchor position, maybe realizing that, yeah, Secret, they have that Dokkaebi coming in, that could maybe scare them away. You see that early information, you think, yeah, maybe it's best that we just take the backseat. So certainly for MNM, happy enough to give away the map control, which in the long term of things, I suppose it does keep more players alive for that final, engagement, but then that gives Secret so much more time to set up. And we know that Secret, they have struggled with timings in the past. They've struggled with these attacks. So if they have more time to set things up, then this could work out well for Secret. We know they have capable players where they can execute extremely well. It was always just the timing of things that kind of messed them up.
Saves is going to give it another attempt here at trying to remove a bit of this utility at the top of main stairs. One of Neo's ADSs there caught the Gon 6 perfectly, going for that bulletproof camera looking down long, and it seemed to cause Secret a little bit of problem. Now they're looking to try and work from below. Nade going to be thrown as an up nade here onto Solotov, but the info is, I'm afraid, a little bit too old. Savage still going to be holding in onto the 90. A Secret are slowly but surely tightening the net around the site. They're going to go for a little bit of a burn here in toward maps. Still with a couple of players inside a vault, it isn't going to be so straightforward. Tyrant gets himself removed, saves, picks him out from the upside down rappel. Another nade does get tossed out from below from Keenan. That's going to be the second and the last that he possesses. Usus just watching onto that upside down rappel. He knows that saves is going to be on there. That's where they suffered from previously. Kendra, he's now actually getting the plant down. Nothing really looking towards stopping stopping him. That's a little bit late, but the C4 is going to land. Users, he shuts that plant down in its tracks. Solotov takes Slebin down as he swings in an attempt to do something. And once again, Secret, they are nowhere to be seen with the diffuser cold. It is not going to be easy for poor old Keenan. And that time, we didn't even see Secret get any exit frags, Demo.
Well, Secret, I thought, was in a much better position. They were able to gain control of the majority of the map right away. They set everything up. They had a player towards study. We've seen the plant go down. For
them to have a little bit of a discussion, see if they can figure out just exactly what's going wrong. It's an early time to use a timeout, but there's obviously a big glaring problem there that Titan's seen that he's not happy with.
There's one thing that I did see that I maybe thought they would have went for Secret, which I thought would have been genius, and that was we had Keenan still kind of kicking around downstairs for, kind of towards that later stage.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe they were going to try and combo a late grenade into Vault as that plant was going down. Because generally, if you're a player inside a Vault and you hear that diffuser, first thing is, oh, I have to do something. And then you maybe jump off, the area that you can't be naded from a Vault, and then you're on the wooden floor, bang, and they'd hit you in the perfect timing. That would be brilliant from Secret to really help them, just cause a bit more chaos on MNM's side. Because you have to remember, if you lose, the main player who's going to try and deny the plant, all of a sudden then you know that they're going to get that plant down because it's gone. And the time you react, your brain just can't keep up mentally for it.
Upstairs we go to Trophy and Statuary. MNM looking to take us on a bit of a tour here of Villa. Demo?
Tour of Italy? Where's the bicycles? Isn't that usually what happens?
Tour to Italy, different one.
Is that a different one?
Different one, I'm afraid.
Get us to Chalet, that would make more sense.
Secret did a really good job of clearing when they were attacking into Aviator in games. They were quite good at sort of gaining that map control, and even when they were attacking into Kitchen, they were good as again. And it's a very similar take that you're going to be trying to do here, because the ultimate goal is to get yourself into Trophy Sanctuary. Tyrant, sorry.
Not yet. He's not been summoned.
He's not been drafted in yet.
No, not yet.
Tyrant there going to take a little bit of damage as he's just transitioning on through.
That Dokubi's causing them issues.
It is. It's forcing them around a little bit. And that's good. That's what you want for Secret. You want to be not giving MNM any ground that they can just comfortably stay in.
See, Neo maybe just rotating utility, realizing that Secret have no interest in going for the more typical master bedroom take. Instead, they're after the full clear over from study in towards games, and you're really trying to target onto that top landing, and you have access to both doorways of either bomb site. And typically for this attack, the main principle for the attack is you need to have somebody hit Astro at the perfect time. Whenever you know that the attacking side are going to be forcing their way in through the pig doorway, into statue doorway, the generic position you fall back to is going to be Astro. What is there in Astro? A big old window. You cannot defend that window, so having a player rotate there towards the later stage is going to be crucial to really shut down those players in Astro who are going to try and defend the attackers as they flood in towards Trophy.
Neo at the moment's being allowed to play inside a master bedroom, and there's no one really challenging on the windows. It's a very, again, one-dimensional push coming out from Secret. A little bit of good chip damage over onto Nello as he just got caught out from that skylight, but he's still been allowed to place those toxic babes.
2 of them already gone, and there's still 50 seconds to go, so I think Secret, they've really picked up their game. They're really starting to force out MNM all this utility early on, and they can still then try and execute, but that is a great jump out from Neo, probably realizing that, yes, Secret then are going to look for these rotates towards Astro, towards bedroom, and try and pick off these players as they fall out of the bomb site. He's just completely counter-saves.
What a kill there from Nello. The Dokubi call was coming through. He's going to pick up 2. Secret, you can't just peek him one at a time there. He's got the shotgun in his hand. Slebin the next to fall. Great crossfire there onto Trophy door. Keenan, he's going to try his hand. Does manage to pick himself up 1, but he's 1 versus 4 Demo. Solotov picks up his second on the round. MNM holding fast inside of the site.
MNM can just stand still. They don't need to move. They are playing it extremely well. You have to commend Neo. I love that bit of counterplay.
Great.
Read him like a book.
We commented
exactly
on it,
what he was going to do. But another point that we made in the first round, Ollie, there's 4 nades there still not being used.
Yeah.
There's 4 nades not being used, and that is probably the reason why MNM are so static, is they're not feeling any pressure from below. I thought Secret did really well to clear away, that early dump from smoke. Being able to give yourself more time, burn through those toxic babes. But then you're not really making the move at all. Majority of that bomb site, you can nade from below and kill people quite easily. But you have to remember, we mentioned MNM are static. Those are kills just waiting to happen with nades. They're waiting to happen. But Secret are not recognizing that.
And there's tons of options as well. You could look at Upnade, you could look at a more earlier focus inside of Master. Bring a Hard Breach. We've not seen any interest in Hard Breach so far from Secret. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You, of course, can get away without playing Hard Breach. But you think about that situation and where Nello was playing. You get that wall open from Statuary into bedroom. Not a chance anyone's standing inside a Statuary. You don't even have to be in bedroom. You can be on the windows. All of a sudden makes it difficult for Neo to play in there. He gets repositioned. And, you know, the butterfly effect sort of continues. So Secret really just going for these very one-dimensional approaches and not using that utility that they're bringing. I
just think that whenever something goes wrong for Secret, they don't know what to do after that. You know, perfect example, Saves goes down. You've lost that man who's going to try and hit from the flank, alleviate that pressure from the players pushing in towards the doorways. He's gone. They're just going into the trenches, and you're not. This is no man's land. You have no idea what's coming at you because you don't have an extra bit of pressure from another side.
To give it a props over to the MNM side of things, I think that they're letting Secret do this themselves.
They're just letting them play.
Yeah.
And MNM are happy just to sit back. I know we'll probably look as if we're going, you know, very into Secret at the moment, but really MNM haven't done anything too genius. They've just played a strategy, and it's working. They're mostly just standing still.
You've just got to sometimes let your opponent come to you, and that's something that MNM are doing really well at the moment. It doesn't look like they're trying to force anything early round, and it's always a sort of...
It's Villa defense.
You can see that's very obvious.
It's Villa defense. Yeah. You literally just have to set up shop and see what happens. That's it. That is the best way to describe it. It is Villa. You do not have to move around the map. You don't have to have these genius flanks. There's been no flank game at all from MNM because they know they don't need that.
Let's see how this control of top floor goes. We're back downstairs into kitchen. Previously, Secret kind of really failed on trying to get that top floor control. Kendrew, how do you not know that Usus is stood inside of the bathroom? Usus has already got his eyes trained on the next enemy. Tyrant, he's going to pick himself one onto Savage as well. It's only a matter of time, really, until Usus hops himself out of the window here. Saves. He's going to pick up a frag over onto Sleben, but Usus has been allowed to find two. Keenan should be looking to try and hunt him down here. He's only inside of Astro. With Saves on the ground floor, it's, again, a very fragmented push here. Keenan doesn't seem to be working off too much intel. Going to go for the nade out. Usus does hop himself out. He's going to go for the full drop down and see if he can get himself back into sight, which he's probably going to be able to do unscathed.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just Usus has played out of his skin, and he still managed to get away. The main factor there is just drones were not there from Secret. We've seen the mute jammers disrupt those drones, and I mean, Kendra, yes, your drone might be jammed, but that doesn't give you the excuse just to jump in like that. That's reckless aggression that your team do not need. You're on that Sophia, you're on that big LMG. We know how strong they are to have in the late game. You can just pre-fire every corner whenever the going gets tough, and Secret just going to be stalled out here. You've got the smoke grenades coming in. Everyone is happy enough to come back to site. I think Tyrant's the only one who's still out and about, but yeah, they can just double up. They can play these crossfires free. Make it 4 for Usus. Huge quad kill. Was everywhere in the map there for MNM.
He's put a shift in that round. He's got his daily steps in, that's for sure. Inside, outside, upstairs, everywhere he needed to be. All it takes is Usus in an SMG-11.
Signature.
He's known for it. Absolutely known for it. 4 rounds on the bounce here for MNM. Secret looking a little bit more weary as the rounds do trickle on as well, Demo. They had, again, a clear intention there of taking onto that top floor, but there was no info off the back of it.
Obviously, mute jammers are there. You know, that's why MNM are bringing that, so they can disrupt the drone game. They can stay upstairs a little bit longer. But, yeah, just Kendra jumping into that window. This is where it's really difficult because we don't know what was called. We don't know what was said.
If bathroom's been called as clear, then it's one of those things.
It's difficult because we don't know, so you always have to speculate. You just can't say, oh, what was that? Because you do not know. We do not know. We will never know unless, you know, calm footage gets released. We have an idea. Maybe we can see Kendra's point of view, whatever it is. We do not know.
But what we do know is that shouldn't be happening. We can't be allowing one player to get that many kills in that short space of time.
Get Fresh in the VOD review. He'll let us know what was seen. I don't know how he does. He sits there just... He's out of his mind sometimes, him.
Opted for a little bit of a change here. When the going gets tough, Ying gets it going. Now, that's not a bad option. If you're going to be going into places where you haven't necessarily got the sufficient information because drones have been caught up in jammers or you've not been able to figure things out, what's better than to full blind flash everyone that could be in the room before you hop in?
Yeah, and MNM don't bring a whole lot of utility denial. You know, it's usually only just a one-off operator who would be there. You know, you're looking at your Wama, you're looking at, obviously, the Aruni we've seen before. In comes the Jaeger. You're not really seeing, you know, two of the same kind of operator. So it does leave holes sometimes where you can see these very heavy utility operators make a big impact. You know, if I'm looking at the MNM lineup right now, you're probably thinking, hey, they're a little bit low. They're not bringing the Wamai. They're not bringing the Arunian. Surely main stairs is going to be free. Yeah. You know, you can just blitz your way through that. We have mentioned a secret. They bring a lot of nades, but they haven't been using them.
They don't use them, yeah. Why bother bringing more than one catcher if your opponent is bringing six nades and only using 4? It makes no sense. Main stairs for me would really be somewhere that I'd like to see Secret focusing on here, because this sided push coming in from Trophy Statuary, you know, whilst it's okay, it isn't really working out too well for them. We're going to see an early C4 there go out. I think MNM I think they've used a lot of early C4s throughout these rounds. We, of course, last time we saw AVG, we saw a C4 deny the plant that was going down, but they're not afraid to get those C4s gone early.
Oh, this is a tricky one. Keenan has a suspicion that somebody's going to be in the bottom stairs, and will find the kill onto Tyrant. That's a good opening pick, and something that certainly Secret have struggled with is just getting their foot in the door. They have allowed MNM to almost have everyone alive right up until the final execute. So that's better from Secret. This is what you need to see. You need to start weakening this defense early on, and Keenan certainly being able to do that. I suppose that's just Tyrant. He's been that kind of lone wolf, hasn't he, for MNM for a long period of time. I think MNM, you know, they're happy enough. You know, if he's died, he's died. They're still in a good position. There's been no walls being touched. 45 seconds still to go. Finally, we're seeing nades work out. Keenan will find a nade kill on the Saltov. This is what we're asking from Secret. This is so much better for them. And another one for Keenan. He was such a force for Secret in the last split, and he's continuing that on now, so he is Ollie.
Now we're going to see the Candelas come in and full white flash anybody that's inside of the side. Backs up with the smoke. Users does go for a swing, but it looked like he was still full blind. Kendrew, he picks him up. Can look to now try and get the plant down. And Nello's got a lot of work to do with the shotgun, but it will not be. A flawless from Secret, appearing out of nowhere just when they needed it the most.
Much better from Secret. Everything that we've mentioned that they haven't been able to do, they've done it all. They've done it all, you know, perfect round. Nobody lost. Everything worked for them. They had that opening pick. You had Keenan working on that entry. We've seen the nade kill from below work a charm. Main stairs was finally being targeted onto, albeit a risky one from Keenan. Still, that is just a blatant 1v1 gunfight.
Yep.
No nades being used there. If he wins it, he wins it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He wins it in that scenario. The Ying working for the execute, being able to disrupt the players on the site. They just can't toss C4s as easily if you don't exactly know where it's being tossed. Everything working there for Secret. But we need another round of that.
It was kind of strange as well, because that kind of all happened off the back of Tyrant falling first to Keenan. And that's something that we haven't really seen MNM try yet in the first couple of rounds. In the first 4 rounds, we didn't see MNM go for any roams. We didn't see them go for any flanks. That was a clear intention of a late flank there from Tyrant. And it's not cost the entire round, but it was the domino effect. It was the start, really, of that round falling apart for them. So I imagine that they'll go back to something a little bit more conservative, as we've seen them do previously.
Have a Warden, which... It's good to see MNM have brought that out, probably realizing that, you know what, Secret, the Ying worked for them. They'll probably try it again. They're not going to, though, which is probably more of a surprising thing. You know, the Ying worked great for the executes, but he's back in the Dokkan Kendra, who's back in that operator who can help with, I suppose, the entry into the roamers, which, to be fair, the last time they attacked this bomb site, Secret were in very early on. You know, nobody really from MNM wanted to hang around and really try and hold on to this side of the map, and they were able to give Secret that early map control. It was more towards the kind of late stage where we've seen, you know, that great outplay by Neo jumping out that window, eliminating saves. You just wonder, is it going to be the same? You know, what is the difference here for saves? Because he was the real domino. He was the one that toppled first, and then everything else kind of fell after that. So Secret, they're going to set up the exact same way. They're going to have control of Aviator. They're going to have control of games. They can push in towards top landing. But where do the rotates come from? Do they maybe hit up Astro side this time? They didn't go near it the last time they attacked it, Ollie. Or will it be the same case for saves? But maybe he's going to be a little bit more aware that, hey, somebody could jump out a window.
Tyrant's looking to try and get himself back upstairs here, just making that rotation up Astro as one of the Dokkaebi phone calls comes through. It's always very wise, especially when you've got Keenan prowling on that ground floor. You've already seen how much of a menace he can be just singling out those roamers. Save's just getting himself onto the Astro rappel. There is a C4 with his name on it. I've never been really keen on these C4s onto the Windows demo.
Yeah, and that's a tough one to deal with if you're upside down rappelling, because as soon as that C4 lands onto the door frame, or the window frame, should I say, you cannot get off the animation quick enough. That will kill you. Again, nades are still up for Secret, but this time they are using them. Looks to be clearing out utility, primarily trying to, I think, eliminate Nello's position, as we know as that smoke, but instead Tyrant. A nade fires in deep and will eliminate him. This is probably the weakness that we have mentioned with MNM. They don't bring a lot of utility denial.
There's that C4 onto saves, as we were commenting there, onto those window frames. It can be a nightmare. Users activating the glasses, just seeing if there's anybody stood in the middle of the doorway to trophy. Time is ticking, though.
I'm worrying.
Secret really needs to start doing something. Keenan going to go for a nade from below. He's trying to remove Nello here. Isn't actually going to land. Going to go for a little bit of one deeper into that bedroom. Nello is crouched with the shotgun. This could be an exact replica of what we've seen previously, and it's going to be. Nello picks up 2 kills again. It's almost the same clip, Demo. That's going to surely do it here for Secret, as Sleben is left to try and push on in, along with Keenan now rapidly rotating himself up the stairs. Sleben, great little crouch peek onto Nello, but you feel like it could be a bit too little too late. The diffuser has been recovered and will now start to go down. There's information on this, no. Solotov, he's going to hit their swing, grabs them both. MNM, what a defensive phase.
He's had twins. Nello has had twins. It is the exact same thing that's just laid out. Nello closing another door with a shotgun and finds 2. How is that not being naded? We literally seen Keenan below with a nade. He's in the exact same position. Again, MNM are just not moving. They're not moving. It is pretty much a similar round. You think about what happened to saves again. This time went for the Astro, died off. Nobody from Secret able to pick up the pieces of what his role is and try and do that. Again, Nello going unchecked. It just feels like the exact same round happened again. And it's so minor as well. It's just saves him to stay alive. All saves need to do is stay alive. And then you just nade that one player who was in that exact same spot.
You could play those clips side by side and they would look extremely similar, scarily similar. Again, there was no pressure inside of Master. It was something that we kind of commented on. You
don't necessarily need the Master pressure.
Not necessarily need it, but if you've got a player that's really difficult to deal with, there's nothing wrong with Hibana and open that wall and removing that position.
I get what you mean, but those positions that you would open up and try and clear out a statue, they're nadeable from below. You can still do it another way. It's sure it might. It'll be the same destination, but just different avenues.
But if you, my point is, if you find in trouble with the up nades, if they're not always coming through, it's usually more guaranteed to get a bit of breach off. Either way, nothing really working there for Secret. They are going to switch sides now, and Villa, well, so far it's lived up to the statistic currently of, I think it was 76% defender sided inside of EUL currently. MNM have obviously given themselves a very healthy buffer here, Demo. 5-1 half. Now switch themselves over onto the attack. And with that certainly comes a lot of confidence. Solotov at the minute is just going nuts. 10-3.
You have to remember the Wally, that this is where Secret, I think they'll feel a lot more confident now. They're on the defense. They can maneuver around the map as freely as they want to. Plenty of roamers still out and about. Not necessarily the same heavy hold that what MNM were going for. MNM a lot more anchor-orientated, whereas Secret just want to get out and about, get into the faces of MNM, and maybe give them a rude awakening.
Oh, you look at the lineup, they've got Elysian, they've got Mozzie. These are all operators that are very capable of getting a little bit of a roam out there and trying to deny a little bit of info. No mute, which is, of course, something that Secret stumbled over multiple times. We're going to hear that telltale beep of the Flores Rotero drone there, just to destroy a little bit of utility. Use us with the nades from below. Smoke canisters getting burnt out already. About the halfway point in the round is relatively early, and ADS there is going to save Kendrew. A drone will likely have called out that there is a little bit more utility there.
Great pickup.
In we go with the Flores.
Great pickup with the Flores drones with no mute jammers. You just move on up, clear away all that utility, eliminates the ADSs, of course, can pop in a drone and maybe try and flood it through in towards Study and eliminate that deployable shield. That will help them out a lot, but here comes more nades, and Usus doesn't want to make a move at the moment. Oh, sees an E. Doesn't know what to do, waiting for the drone. Maybe is this going to be a follow-up? The drone comes in along with the nuke, and that is a great combination too for Usus on the main stairs. Excellent droning, that hot droning that we love to see working out extremely well for MNM, and that's main stairs control in favor for that attacking side. And this is going to be very difficult now for Secret, because think of how many roamers they have. They're locked out of sight.
Well, they've got to fight themselves back into the site here. They've got Solotov challenging there onto Map's door, so they can't even just get themselves back in. Saves takes a ton of damage. Sleben on his shoulder will shut Solotov down. Saves gets himself to the safety of the vault, but how long is that going to be safe? Great kill long there from Savage onto Nello. Things not looking so straightforward now, but Usus, he's not for stopping anytime soon. He's on for an ace here, Demo. He's only got to find Sleben. He's getting the plant down, though. He's playing the team game. Sleben picks one up onto Neo. He's going to try and find a couple more here. Finds it. There's still a chance for an ace. The plant goes down. Usus does it all.
Wow. Just unbelievable. An ace to kick things off. Could have asked for a better start. And the plant.
An ace and a plant.
An ace and a plant.
That doesn't happen a lot.
Does that give it extra credit?
I mean, you can only get, 1 point in your cost column, can't you? But he's done his best.
I mean, Secret, we've seen the idea. Heavy roam game, kind of scare away everything that could come in from bedroom side. MNM had no interest in that. They were going with a very default Study main stairs take. Usus just playing out of his skin. And this is kind of where you lead into, if one guy is just hitting every shot, he's hitting everything, what do you do?
You can't.
He's 11-2.
I mean, he was 6-2. He's done pretty well in that last round. I shouted out Solotov at the bottom there, I think it was 10-3 at the time. He didn't get a look in that round.
I think the biggest issue that happened there with Secret was not only did they lose one player in main stairs, which sure does happen, they didn't get the refrag. Yeah. Which was the issue.
And it was all off the back of a brilliantly coordinated push. We had the Flores Rotero drone, and then we had Usus working behind it.
Pretty sure Solotov entered in at Study at the same time as well. And the issue with the strategy from Secret, it's good enough going for the roam game, but as soon as you lose that main stairs, they essentially lose all site control. I think Solotov played that very well, where he was able to get himself into Study and then stop them from getting back into maps. I'm pretty sure Saves, he did get back in, but other than that, nobody else. Savage was stuck in 90, Sleben was on the zombie door the whole time. And then it's just easy for, I think, MNM just to have that man advantage and just trade through 90, which is exactly what they did.
Match point for MNM. Shaping up to be a fairly quick start to the evening.
It's so difficult because it just feels that the Secret are just almost there. Like, I think their actual fundamentals, their actual setups, everything, on paper looked good, but the actual execution just wasn't there, whereas I think MNM on this side, they are there.
Certainly alive and kicking. Going to be attacking upstairs into Trophy Statuary this time. Very standard approach to clear from Aviator and Games. Neo just going to set himself up for a couple of air jabs. There was a little bit of an intention from Secret to get out there on the roam, although you look at the operators that they've selected this time, and they're not typically your sort of roaming style operators. You maybe get a little bit loose on the old Malusi, but everyone else is going to be fairly site-centric, I would imagine, but still a belt and braces approach. You don't want to get yourself caught out. They too are going to be going for the south-sided push.
Only just the Wamai as denial for any projectiles that may come in. Of course, whenever you're looking at MNM setting up for pretty much the exact same attack that Secret have went for, having a few projectiles just to stop that kind of onslaught that comes in through those two door frames is going to help them out quite a bit. Doesn't save them, of course, from the updates, which I'm sure is also something that could happen. We see a bit of a flank action now from Secret as they're trying to push up. Saves and Savage both flying too, but Solotov trying to battle back Keenan, but here comes two more up the red stairs. Secret, similar ideology as what they had going into the last round. It's working for them this time, Ollie.
And you worry about the drone information as well. There's still 7 drones alive, and MNM didn't know that there were those 2 players off-site in that position. Little bit of a problem.
Diffuser cold.
There's now a lot to do for Nello and Usus. You mentioned Diffuser going to be called there on East Stairs. Usus just going to be watching watching this flank. First nade gets caught up in the magnet. Second will fly down. Sleben, plenty of time to get himself away from that and can look to start making a move. Nello gets a great kill there over onto Savage as Users picks up save as he tried to flank himself up Astro. Sleben, I'm not sure if you got a glimpse there of the player inside. A trophy certainly knows where Nello is. That's going to be the diffuser called for the second time. We're locked into a tense 1 versus 1 here. Users, he's tried to collect the kit. He's looking to try and chase the kill. He has the pistol in his hand, but he cannot do the rest. Sleben keeps his team in it.
Just about. It was a 3v2 into a 1v2 for Secret, but wow, Sleben holds his nerve. Great decision making. See, he had the option. Could have went for Users, who was inside a trophy, but thought, you know what? He's not going to be doing anything if I go and stop this diffuse going down, and he did that. So great decision making from Sleben, holds his nerve. Close one for MNM, but again, it just felt as if they were very reliant there on somebody having to make that play. Fortunate enough for MNM, they do have multiple players who can be those playmakers. Of course, Users being that main one that we see, just center field, making those moves. But yeah, better from Secret. I like the actual ideology worked this time. What they went for during their first defensive round, where they had that heavy roam game, it did feel as if they didn't really want to attack where MNM were setting up. You know, MNM, whenever they were attacking onto the Aviator in games, they were towards main stairs. Nobody was kind of roaming towards that side of the map. Nobody was interested in challenging those players. This time, they knew that MNM was going to be coming in from top landing. They just threw everything at it, and they did come away with the man advantage.
How long can Secret hold on for here, Demo?
That's the question. It's Battle Helm's Deep.
It really is. Because it feels like it's a matter of time with the way that MNM have been playing. But if Secret can sort of move that from a 1 versus 1 clutch into something a little bit more convincing, then we can start to get a little bit excited here. They've got a chance. They're going to be downstairs in kitchen. They've opted for a very classic kitchen lineup here, given those C4s and the mute and of course the pulse. But that's been very well read into here. If we look at what MNM are bringing,
that's exotic.
This is a fruity lineup, make no mistake. They've got the IQ, which is perfectly read into for the pulse, but then we're looking at an Ossa, a Fuse, and a Ying. That's like 3 off picks for my money inside of 1 attacking lineup here. And it only means one thing: vertical control, fuse charges, candelas, and those deployable shields, those deployable barricades.
Obviously, you'd look at this lineup and think, what is going on? Which rightfully so. I think for a kitchen attack, you're looking at it thinking, oh, where's the buck? Where's the sledge? There are necessities to go for that vertical game, but you have 2 operators there with breaching charges that can make full effect of it. With the kind of take that MNM are going for, it does look as if they're going for a bit of a snatch and grab play. You're probably going to set up some breaching charges above, you're going to gear up some fuse charges, and then just everything's going to be dumped in towards that first bomb site, and then you're just going to be able to move away.
Exactly that, when we see 2-1.
That was so off cue.
What was off cue about that?
The game appeared as you said 1.
That's exactly what I meant to appear.
No.
I pressed the button on 1.
No. I think this is.
One day you'll get a button and you'll learn.
You don't start the game. The lovely people at production do. You give them respect. They don't get enough respect.
One day you'll get a button and you'll learn how it works. So, back where we left off. Well, not quite, but as near as damn it. 6-3 here to MNM. Secret were successful in that defense downstairs. Now, Demo, I want to cast your mind back right to the start. I was discussing the operator bans. I mentioned how Azami has been removed for this game, and that leaves a little bit of flexibility. Typically, we would expect a mirror ban on Villa. You would expect a mirror ban. In a lot of places, it's a great ban to use, but with Azami being removed in its stead, it has left the option for a mirror open, and it's now where Saves is going to opt to use it.
Yeah, Mira, strong operator for Villa, but obviously can be counterplayed quite easily. Most of the good Mira positions that you can have in this map are going to be able to be naded from below. That's the main thing you have to talk about, is you can easily up-nade them. Twitchdrome doing a lot of work, maybe not getting the Mira window, which you would like to see be popped, but still 2 ADSs on the main stairs. What a great start right off the rip for MNM. That's going to be a great bit of news for users to hear. But back to the Mira windows, easy enough to destroy, but if they get left up, they can be a big issue for these attacks. That mirror window that you're seeing in the main site, it's able to stop anyone pushing in towards study. It also gives a good toss from a C4 right onto the vault door, and that's kind of where the default plan is. And they've also used the other mirror window towards their off-site hold, towards the bedroom side of things, and that can stop people pushing in towards Astro. As we know, MNM, no interest in that side of the map. They're more typical. They want to take study. They want to take main stairs, try and go for those verticalities from below with the nades. So that mirror window is going to be a bit dead now. Secret, we know that they want to try and play that roam game. We know they want to try and challenge onto MNM. They didn't do that the last time. They didn't want to try and challenge onto players as they were pushing up main stairs compared to what they were going for whenever they were defending Trophy Statuary.
Main stairs has been entirely cleared of utility at this point. Savage looks like he might be coming to blows. Slevin is going to be playing downstairs as well.
I want Slevin to make a move here.
Uses is just patiently waiting. He's on the 90 downstairs, and he knows that he's got a couple of opponents nearby. He's almost certainly going to be able to hear them or at least have some info that something isn't quite right here. But quite rightly, he needs to play things patiently because guess what? He's got 2 nades and they need to get value.
Keenan, first pick. Tyrant just tried to walk down 90 corridor already. All in. He's been taken out. Nobody there to oblige with a refrag. Not a good start there. I mean, MNM, they do have the main stairs control, and Solotov inside a study, which is a position that he likes to be in. I just did hear the mirror window get popped as well, Ollie. That's not going to do them any favors. That just creates another sightline that maybe Solotov could use, and it doesn't give Kendrew that same amount of survivability. You can just hide behind that mirror window for pretty much the entirety of the round.
Nello's been getting a lot of value out of those Rotero drones here. He's going to do something to force Kendrew into a less than satisfying situation, but Users actually gets taken out. He got caught full sprint. Solotov trades out there onto saves. He knows that there's going to be somebody involved, but equally he's getting pushed from the top of red as well. Has to push in deep and commit to one of these engagements and at least break them down, but can't land his shots. Nello and Neo both backing each other up here as Neo covers as the plant goes down. Needs to find one more onto Sleben and will do so. MNM lock things up here tonight.
I thought Kendrew made a great counterplay, knowing that that kind of hot drone element is something that MNM like to go for. He eliminated Users, and I thought, hey, that's really good. That shuts down that kind of 90 pressure that MNM are trying to apply. But while all of that was happening, everyone else was flooding in from study. We're flooding in towards maps and just picking up these kills left, right, and center. And it's a similar situation that Secret were in, where they had all these roamers, but then they were locked out of the bomb site.
Yeah, and they found themselves in that position more than once, and it was a little bit strange to see, wasn't it? Because